The earth is in shambles. I swear I'm a positive person. Anyway, to cut to the chase, I have been trying to live sustainably, low waste, zero waste, even though zero is like more of a goal, not like nobody's zero waste. Some people are, I guess, maybe. But as the phrase goes, we need more people doing it imperfectly than few people doing it perfectly. I say that I've been trying, but then I slip up and only bring one reusable bag to the grocery store instead of several, because I thought my trip was going to be smaller. And then person gives me a bunch of plastic bags. Yeah, I'm going to try to not buy any plastic for 30 days, February 4th to March 4th. Cool thing that I just did, I bought these, yay, plastic, about a couple months ago. They taste like garbage, but I crushed them with a mug into breadcrumbs and put them in a mix with flour and nutritional yeast and panko breadcrumbs, and we'll be using them as a breading for fried tofu, so I can use all of the pretzels because I bought them and food waste is bad. So I get one free bit. I wouldn't call it a meal at work. I could get oatmeal or a bagel, each of which has plastic in it. And it's like, I'm poor. Do I still get, I bring my own cup to make beverages at work. There's so many, not only customers that get takeout cups, but it's such a rush mentality that we drop cups constantly, or somebody doesn't want this drink, so we gotta throw it away and then make a new one, or you're just in a rush, so a bunch of cups fall, and it's very sad. I'm going to still be taking coffee home to give to people. That's in plastic, so I don't know if this doesn't count, but I feel like that's less so. A bag of coffee lasts longer. If I weren't here and if I drank coffee, which I don't, I would get coffee in the bulk bin. But if it's this company wants to give me free coffee, I'm gonna take it. Coffee lasts long, a bag of coffee to make at home, whereas a snack that you just eat and toss is one thing. Bits of plastic versus something that lasts you a long time. But for me, it's easier to get a bamboo toothbrush than any convenient food that comes in plastic. It's harder to do that, even though theoretically that one's worse because you get so many of those. I just want to live sustainably. Is that so hard? Also, look at Sprouts printing on both sides of the receipt. How kind. I feel like you can do minimalism and sustainability simultaneously. I feel like it's hard to do both because I feel like with sustainability, you end up hoarding a bunch of shit because you want to reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse. There's another one. Anyway, reuse your things before throwing them away. If they are something that has to inevitably go in the garbage, try to make as many functions out of them as possible. I just want to save the planet. Do you want to save the planet? Doing the dishes, dishwasher. We use this as dishwasher detergent. It's just powder in a box, and you recycle it. It's $8. It lasts us 6 months. I don't know. These last a really long time. So it's plastic free. So yeah, awesome. So I have a sock with a hole in it, and I'm gonna sew it. I know, so riveting. But if you can fix it, think before you throw away something to just buy another thing. So I think just repairing. Oh my God. Earlier when I said reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse, and I was there's another one. It's repair. Day 3, I feel like this is what I just already tried to do in life anyway. Something that did happen was after work, I had no food with me. So the biggest thing is just preparation. I was going to go to Chipotle because that's really easy. Well, to get a bowl if you have a fork or just a burrito, it comes in aluminum, which I guess it's better to get the bowl than the burrito. I don't know. I was going to get a burrito. But then there was a super long line, so I didn't go. So I went into Target because there's a mini Target downtown because mini Targets exist. And what people call super Targets here, in the Midwest, we just call it Target. Anyway, I bought some of these, which are delicious, because I needed food before I went and got my vaccinations. Cardboard box, great. Recyclable. Grams themselves, vegan. Awesome. Sustainable. It did, however, come in a plastic bag, but I needed to eat something. I bus and train every single day, so transportation-wise, sustainable. My fiance has a car, she drives to work, but can't really help that. And then we carpool to drag on Tuesdays. It's been pretty easy. I say that I've like technically failed already, but it shouldn't be like all or nothing. Also, I'm not counting like medicine. That's like necessity stuff. And I'm also not counting anything that I previously bought. I think just the biggest thing is gonna be grocery shopping. But I wanna try to make homemade granola before I go grocery shopping so I don't have to buy granola bars. By granola bars, I mean like Cliff bars, whatever. Protein bars. I'm gonna try to make homemade granola because I have all of the ingredients for that. I bought bulk nuts. These were enough to make granola bars, and then I keep snacking on them. I think pickle jars are the best to upcycle jars. Most of my jars are upcycled, or a few are from the thrift store. But I like pickle jars because they're wide mouth instead of pasta jars, which are all narrow mouth, which I guess it depends on what you're using them for, if that's good or bad. I'll show you. I got some soup, and that was just like at a cafe. I want to say zero waste, but I know like it probably took some waste, but zero waste. And then I got some cookies, pastry things, from Whole Foods because the place with the soup was out of vegan pastries. And they just have like a pastry section where you just like go and weigh your pastries. I think snack-wise, bakeries and pastries and stuff like you can often get them. You just get a paper bag, which I also had previously, so I didn't even use their paper bag. You do need to use like a little tissue thing for sanitary reasons. Anyway, that's an easy way to like get goods without buying like a package of muffins or cookies or whatever. Either make them myself, which would be cheaper, or get them from a place like the pastry section instead of packaged. It's February 17th. I went grocery shopping. I got a spaghetti squash, which I am cutting up for dinner. Low waste, great. It's from Trader Joe's. Not everything we got there was from that, because I didn't really like tell my fiance that I'm trying to do this thing, nor would I think it would work. It's hard doing this if your partner is not with it. She's already changed to be vegan, like, and also going low waste, like a lot harder than going vegan. Like a lot. I mean, vegan is just like a second nature to me right now because I did go when I was like 16, but man, it's a lot easier. And I still need to get more nuts to make granola bars because I bought 2 today. Maybe I should just focus on the positives or like examples of how to instead of like mistakes. I now compost everything. I have been for like the past year. When we lived in our last place, we lived kind of close to one, but we kept it in the back in a bin because our roommates didn't want us burying it in the garden. Then we brought it at the end of the year to a compost facility. Now we don't live close to one. So our recycling facility said that they will be adding a compost in a couple months to our city, but the closest one is roughly a half hour. I don't know. The drive there kind of diminishes the environmental aspect of composting, would be like canceled out if we drove there, unless we like saved it up over the course of a few months. But like, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So how to compost when you live in a 1-bedroom apartment? So right now we keep our compost in the freezer. Every week or two or so, so actually when I train into work, there's a Whole Foods like right there, and Whole Foods has a compost. So I just go into Whole Foods and drop off my compost. You can also do this at any place that really has a compost bin. Do they want you doing that? I don't know, but it's like, get at me, I'm trying to save the earth. Don't be mad. Anyway, nobody said anything, or probably noticed. But until the place, because the place that says that are adding compost is very close, so that wouldn't be something that would be like too much of a drive, because we do drive to drop off our recycling also once every 1 or 2 weeks. We got a big bin, but we got this bin at a thrift store, and then we just take that to the recycling place. Since we're already doing that, and it's it's like a 2-minute drive, we'll probably put our compost there once they actually have that option, but right now they don't. So we bring it to Whole Foods. But really, I've seen like also when back in Michigan, this like little food co-op had like a compost bin. I'm pretty sure Chipotle does too. So like, if you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, if you can like hopefully either bus or train, bike, walk, or like if you already drive somewhere, just kind of phantom drop off your compost at places that offer composting in their facility. So that's what I'm doing, and it's pretty easy. And also if you live in a neighborhood that does do a drive around compost pickup, like most standard suburban neighborhoods do that. And then if they're already driving around in there, you might as well also have them pick up yours if you want to pay that fee, which I don't think usually is that much over the course of the year. I mean, it depends, but ours was like $60 a year. Food waste is a huge deal, and the biggest thing is just to try to not waste food in the first place, but like also, I mean, I never thought about roasting spaghetti squash seeds. I'm gonna look that up. To the best of your abilities, not creating food waste in the first place. I started, because I always had this habit in my workplaces of dating food. I'm like, why don't I date food and like milks and stuff at my own house? So now when I open something that has a window of time, usually refrigerated food, but before it can go, you know what I'm saying? I date it to be like, oh, this lasts a week, and then I'm like, expires, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I really never did that before. It's been like, I don't know, I've been doing that for some time, but I really suggest dating your food at home. I don't know if people do that, but like I started doing that, and I feel like it makes so much sense. So you're not just like, how old is this salsa? You know, because you wrote it down. But composting is easy unless you don't live anywhere that offers composting and you don't have a yard to bury it and do your own compost. Theoretically, in a lot of places, it should be easy to compost with a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't know the statistic exactly, but food waste is a lot of stuff that goes into garbage, and if you're putting less in the garbage, and because if food that you put in a garbage in a plastic bag and send to the landfill, what doesn't accidentally get polluted in other places, it's not composting. Anything you put in your trash can to get picked up by garbage trucks will not be composted, even things that are compostable. So it's really important to compost